Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the webinar today about advanced promotion planning as an input for financial forecasting at Wonderful Brands. But before we start, I want to thank Heidi for being here, but not only for her presence today, but also for the enthusiasm and the dynamism, which according to me was a key factor for the success of the implementation. So welcome, Heidi.
Thank you.
So we will have about 1 hour together today. So that's the agenda I drew for us today. We'll start with a brief introduction of Solventure, Wonderful Brands, and Heidi will present also in 5 minutes the reason why Wonderful Brands wanted to invest in a demand planning and in a promotional planning tool. And during 20 minutes, I will show you a bit the approach we use to implement the process at Wonderful Brands. And I will also take advantage of that session to show you directly in the tool how it's configured. So you will really see how our tool looks like and how we built that process in there. And Heidi will close the discussion by sharing her experience and the result she got before and after the implementation of the tool. And she will also mention some possible next step or what are the next challenges are for her. And we will end the session with a Q&A, so you will be able to ask questions. I don't know if we will have a lot of time there, but we will make sure that all questions will be answered. Let me quickly introduce you to our company, to Solventure. So Solventure, we are expert in designing and implementing S&OP, and we are convinced that to make sure that all your nuances and all the detail of your supply chain is taken into consideration, you need to have a professional tool. If you use kind of Excel spreadsheet and so on, it's not a professional tool used that you can use to incorporate, let's say, all your difficulty and all the complexity of your supply chain. That's the reason why we are the European channel expert of Archiva. So Archiva is a supply chain software which has been designed from the ground. So it has been designed 20 years ago in 1993. It has been designed by supply chain specialists. So it's really a tool which comes, let's say, from the ground. And Archiva is located, so the HQ is located in Wilmington in Delaware in the US. And they have offices also here in Belgium. So it's in Belgium, it's in Anvers, Antwerp, and also one office in India. Typically, our vision or what kind of service our Solventure can propose you can see it here. We have 6 different boxes. So all the boxes are kind of services or processes that we can help you to implement in your company. The first one is customer and product segmentation, which means before doing anything, you have to make sure you understand your data set. You understand which customer are important for you, which product are important for you. The second box is everything which is related to product management review. For instance, if you have new product introduction or product which comes end of life, that's something you want to take as a separate process and you want to be able to put a specific focus on it. The third block is the demand review, the demand planning. So today the discussion will be more focused on promotion planning, but promotion planning is part of the demand planning. The fourth block is inventory review. So which parameters do you have to use to minimize your inventory, to optimize your safety stock, for instance. And the last 2 blocks are the supply planning part, which is everything related to rough cut capacity planning, linear programming, detailed scheduling, or even MPS. And the last step is executive SIOP. So it's the reporting layer of Arqiva. For all of those blocks, we are organizing separate webinars. So maybe some of you already attended a previous webinar about product management or customer segmentation. You also see on the slide that we are listed as a challenger in the Magic Quadrant of Gartner, which is an external private company which listed all the good IT players in the software environment. So here you have more in detail, let's say, all the 6 blocks I was referring to before. I won't go too much there into details, we don't have enough of time, but you see here one of the blocks is demand, and below demand you have one sub-block which is a promotion management. So that's what we are going to tackle today. On the bottom of the slide you also see that we have a Arqiva SAP connector which is certified by SAP, which means that we can easily connect to your S&OP environment and use all your data in Arqiva directly. Who are our customers? So we have customers in different, all around the world, in different type of industries. So here you can see it goes from chemical industry to discrete, passing by FMCG and food company. And the last slide about Solventure introduction is that we started recently 2 new businesses. The first one is called Solventure Life. So Solventure Life is advanced forecasting, is using advanced forecasting models. So basically what we do there, we try to find external indicator that you can include in your forecasting process. So for instance, what is the impact of the price, the oil price in your forecasting, in forecasting your business. And the other business unit that we recently started is the Solventure Academy, which is actually a training institute, which is used to teach some more advanced supply chain knowledge with our expert consultants, and we do it via accelerator days or bootcamp. I won't go too much into detail. If you want more information, you can reach out to us or you can visit the website. I let Heidi introduce now Wonderful Brands.
So good afternoon, I'm Heidi. I'm responsible for the supply chain in Wonderful Brands, and I wanted to give you first a small introduction to our company. So we are a company sitting in Brussels, but part of a bigger company called the Wonderful Company, who is a US based company founded in '84 in California. We are focused on consumer goods. We are a privately owned company, so the founder of the company is still taking the decisions in our company. We have grown to a company of 5,400 employees now and have a sales of $4 billion a year. What's typical about our company and the goods we are selling is that we are fully vertical integrated, so that means that we grow the products we are selling to the retailer. So to give you a brief overview of our key business units we are having, first of all, we have a citrus business. So we grow, ship and pack fresh citrus products as well in the US as in the other parts of the world. So it goes about clementines, oranges. We have a special grapefruit called Sweet Scarlet, for example. Then next to that, we also have a business unit in pistachios and almonds, and that's one we are also distributing in Europe as part of the Wonderful EMEA company. Next to that, we have pomegranates. Also, these are grown in our own orchards and then juiced and bottled to the POM Wonderful brand. And then also one of the other business units is it's more beverages like the Fiji water. So it's water bottled in Fiji and distributed all over the world. And then we also have 2 brands of wine. So presenting you the products we are distributing in Europe and Middle East as part of the wonderful EMEA company. So we have pistachios and almonds. We have the POM Wonderful Juice and the pomegranate brand, and then we also sell combinations of our products in this place. So just to give you a rough idea of the type of SKUs and the number of SKUs we are having. If we talk about the nuts products, we are selling 3,000 tons of nuts per year in Europe and Middle East. It's actually 20% Middle East, the rest Europe. For juices, the POM brand is selling 1.5 million liters per year. Main market is UK, and actually the same amount, 1.5 million liters of pomegranate, and they're the only market for now is also the UK. I also want to give you a brief understanding of the supply chains we are dealing with. So we have an ambient supply chain focused on our nuts. So all the raw material is coming from our orchards in California. It's shipped in big bags of 1 ton overseas, stored in a facility in Antwerp, and then brought to a roasting and packing plant in Germany. So there we actually transform the raw material into our roasted and flavored packed products, and then they go to different warehouses all over Europe. So we have a warehouse in the UK, one in Germany, one in France, one in Belgium, which is used for the export to the Middle East, and then one in Spain. And from all these warehouses, we go to deliver the retailers and customers in the different countries which are listed there. So, for example, UK is used for the UK customers. Then from the German market, we deliver as well the customers in the Benelux, as in Germany and Switzerland and so forth. Next to that, we have also a chilled supply chain. So it's a different supply chain than for the nuts. It's the one we use for our juices, but it follows the same type of steps. So also the raw material is shipped from California. It's actually frozen concentrate. We ship to the UK. There we work with a third-party bottling company, which brings it to the juice bottles, and also these finished products go to the chilled warehouses. We have 3 for the juices, one in the UK, one in the Netherlands, and one in France. And there, again, from these warehouses, we deliver to the different areas in Europe. Now a bit more about why we decided to work together with Solventure and invest in promotional planning and demand planning in Arkiva. So we started the business in Europe 10 years ago from scratch. So 10 years ago we delivered our first finished products to a customer in Switzerland at that time, and from then we started actually growing very fast. So we needed to support our business with a lot of different tools, and they were mainly built in Excel as standalone applications. So a lot of complex Excel sheets to capture volume forecasts, for example. Next to that, we also built, and then was mainly like the marketing and sales department, built a tool to capture promotional planning. But all these tools were not linked together, so it was all separate tools, and they also were not linked with our ERP tool, which is Oracle. So what did that mean? That we had a lot of double input. Also, at one side, the supply planners didn't have clear visibility on promotions, so they only saw uplifts in volume but didn't know where it was exactly coming from. And also it was very difficult to track the promotions or see the status of the promotion. So you of course have first a promotion which is proposed to a customer. It's still in an unconfirmed stage until the customer accepts the promotion and puts it in a confirmed status, but that was not visible for our planners. So that made it quite complex to stay tuned in terms of supply planning. We had installed an S&OP process, so a weekly discussion with all our sales managers and with the planners to make sure that we kept things aligned, but that was a very time-consuming process. And also it was based on a lot of manual created reports, which took a lot of time and efforts. So secondly, I talked already about the volume part, but also the financial part was not linked into the same report. So it was actually, we were working with two visions on the same set of figures. So what happened at the end of the month, the finance department took a snapshot of volume and then created the financial outlook. So that means that for seeing the impact of promotions on the revenue and profitability, that was only visible once a month. Also, once these financial reports were ready, we often had already a new volume plan available. So these figures were never in sync. Lastly, we also had no way to approve promotions based on the financial retribution. So actually, we only saw the result of accepted promotions afterwards, so after the reports were made.
Quite a lot of challenges, right?
Yeah.
So I will explain you how at Solventure we tackled all those issues, or at least we tried to help Wonderful to be more comfortable in their demand planning and in their promotion planning. So if you think about promotion, what is the impact of promotion? The impact of promotion can be twofold. It can be volume impact, but it can also be revenue impact. So that's something important to mention. And I think it's also where you struggled in the past. So the volume impact is on your promotional item. So if you make a promotion on an item, of course you expect to increase the volume during that promotional period. But also it will have a stealing effect before and after the promotion. For example, if you foresee to have a promotion the 15th of June for 1 week, then you might see a peak during that period, but you might also see beginning of June and end of June like a stealing effect. So volume impact on promotion on the item which has been promoted, but also on other items. So if you look at the portfolio of Wonderful, I take for instance the example of nuts 115 grams. If you make a promotion for the 115 grams, it might have an impact on other products. Maybe the 220 grams will sell a bit less. So that's the first part, the volume impact. And now the revenue impact, well, you decrease the price because of your promotion, but your cost of producing doesn't change. On top of it, you have to add an additional one-time cost related to the promotional activity. So when you do a promotion, you also have to do some marketing campaign, you have to create some banners. So you have like a one-time cost, which is fixed. What we can also model is a price elasticity. So the price elasticity can allow you also to understand better the impact of the price on your volume. For instance, if I decrease the price by 5% on that specific item or on that specific market class or whatever, what is the impact on my volume? So for instance, if I decrease by 5%, my volume on average increases by 10%. So I will start with the volume impact. So remember, we have volume impact, we have revenue impact. So here we are in the volume impact. So what we did at Wonderful Brands, we created a flow in the demand planning to allow them to clean historical data. So how can we clean historical data? There are several ways. It's not an exhaustive list. The first thing is Archiva can propose some statistics to detect kind of outliers. So if there is an outlier, maybe it's because it was a promotion. And that one has to be removed from the historical data. You will see just after the reason behind. The second possibility is you know the promotion date, and then you can remove the promotional effect from your historical data, but because you know the promotional date. And the last one is to let the user manually review his own sales history. When you create a promotion, so in Archiva at least, when you create a promotion, you have to input it on two different levels. The first is what we call a header level. So when you create a promotion, within the same promotion, you can add different items to one promotion ID. You have to give a start date, you have to give an end date. It can be a store timing or also a supply planning. So if we take the example of Wonderful Brands, they sell to distributors, and distributors, they sell to retailers. So start date and end date of stores and supply can help you to better understand your demand. And on top of that, if you come, that's what we did at Wonderful Brands, you can also integrate point of sales data. So you can really see how your customer is reacting based on your promotion. So secondly, there is also an overhead cost which is linked to that promotion. So as I said before, if you create a promotion, you have to invest in folder, in banners, in stands, or whatever. So first level, header level, and the second one is SKU level. So for each individual item, you have to input the volume impact. So what's the volume you expect to sell during that promotional period? And also there is a discount mechanism, which can be bill back or which can be discount. We will come back to that later because it's quite important. So if I summarize with what I just said about cleaning the data, so imagine your sales history is something like that. What we do first, we clean that history. So we try to remove the promotional period to find a baseline, a forecast, what we call a forecast baseline. So from the green chart, you go to that green line, and after you forecast it. When you forecast it, there is another step where you add promotion. So that's a bit the approach. So instead of forecasting the history, we clean it, we forecast it, we re-add promotion. That was for the volume impact. Now, what's the impact on the revenue? Well, we already discussed is the overhead cost. The overhead cost, you do it at the promo header level, and it has to be divided. We divide it equally among the SKUs. So for instance, if you created a promotion for 4 items, the promotion cost 1,000 euro to create, then each item below that promotion will receive the same overhead cost. The second one is discount cost. So a discount is something you input per article level. And here we have two main differences. The first one is immediate revenue impact. That's the case of a discount. So for instance, I sell something today which cost 100. I sell something at 100 euro. I give a discount of 20%. I invoice to my customer 80, not 100. So I invoice total price minus discount. But it can also be the case that is not an immediate revenue impact, but it's a delayed revenue impact. That's what we call a bill back. So a bill back means I invoice my customer 100 today with a 20% bill back, so he will pay to me 100 euro, but in 3 months' time, he will invoice me back the 20%. So what's very important here is that you have to make a provision to pay that amount, and you have to make sure you follow that up quite intensively, because today, this month, you might have a very good month, because the bill back hasn't arrived yet, but in 3 months time, maybe all your volume, the volume that you sold is very good, but your financial impact is impacted, of course, because of that bill back. And the third part is the national agreement. So if you are in FMCG, if you are an FMCG company, or if you are in the FMCG world, national agreement should probably ring a bell. So national agreement is really like a promotion, but it's like a long-running promotion which has no volume, where no volume impacts the model. So for instance, you want to sell something to Carrefour, okay, and there to Carrefour will negotiate and say, I want to have always 10% discount the entire year. So that's what we call national agreement. So it doesn't matter the quantity or what they will order, they will always get at least their national agreements. So if you put in equation what I just explained, basically, that has a big impact on your gross margin, right? Because your gross margin, if we say that your gross margin is your gross revenue minus your COGS, then that's not enough. You also have to take into consideration your discount, the flex fund. So the flex fund is the flow from the bill back, the national agreement discount, and the national agreement flex fund. If you want to be able to track the promotional impact in your business, you have to link your order or your sales to a certain promotion ID. So that will help you to clean your historical data, because if you know from your historical data what has been sold from the regular flow versus what has been sold from the promotional flow, that will help you to improve your baseline, right? And that will improve your forecast also. If you cannot make that link, you can still do some post hoc analysis based on the timing of the promotion. So if you know when the promotion occurred, then you can make your own analysis. But we recommend you to try to be able to link an order and a sales to a promotional ID. And the last slide before we go to the demo in the tool is a process, a typical promotional process. That's the one they use at Wonderful Brands. So first you create your promotion and you provide on that promotion some characteristics. So that's what we discussed just before. So you provide a date, you provide a quantity, and so on. After, there is an internal approval process. So from the initial promotion, it gets first unconfirmed, and after, the business will review if it's aligned with the strategy, if it's aligned with the budget, before confirming the promotion. And they also make an agreement with the customer to see how they can agree on that promotion together. And the last two steps are the execution and the follow-up. So the execution is the delivery of the promotion with the respect of the agreed supply time, and also you provide all the marketing activities, so the banner, the stands, and so on. And finally, the follow-up is to check if you have enough provision for your build back, to analyze your real sales compared to the volume you plan to have, and also the impact.
Okay, so as you saw from the demo, we have now one harmonized database actually, which contains all our figures, so as well the volume part as the financial part. So it's, I think, demonstrating the fact that we get rid of all our separate Excel sheets and separate tools, and put it all in the same database. So in terms of visibility, this for the business, this increased visibility a lot and helped us a lot in the decision-making processes. So everyone in the business is now talking the same language. Every department is looking at the same set of figures, and we have like one vision of the truth. So financial figures, volume figures are all on the same basis and up to date every day. So that's a clear improvement. If we look specifically to everything linked to the promotions, we have now a clear visibility on the promotional status, so we know exactly which promotions are unconfirmed, which are confirmed, and it's also a base for our S&OP discussion, which we have on a weekly basis. We check with the sales managers which promotions are still in an unconfirmed status. If they are for next month of the month after, then we have to put them in a confirmed status now, or they have to be moved because we cannot guarantee the supply. That's actually one of the discussions we have based on the overview you saw in the demo. And also we see immediately the impact of a promotion on the volume, because we have a separate volume line for the promotion. So makes it for the supply planners very clear which volumes are linked to promotions and which are linked to the baseline, and it makes also easier to take decisions in supply. Then the second thing is the impact on profitability, on revenue. So by adding promotions, you see in the database immediately the impact on the revenue. So as such, a sales manager can take a decision: is it in the long term a good thing to add these promotional volume on this SKU and with this type of customers, or should I change it to another tactic? Then for a financial outlook, so our vision on the total year, we of course have this calculation which is done immediately. We don't have to wait on the reports which are issued at month end. We see it immediately. We also have a way of following up our billbacks and accruals. So as Nicolas has shown, it's all in the same system. So for the finance department, it's a quick check to do. On the other hand, also for the sales managers, they know exactly where they are in terms of invoices still to expect from their customers. So I think it's clear that our month-end closing process has been much smoother since we have the Arqiva tool in place, and actually we were able to decrease the days of the month-end closing from 10 to 7 by introducing this tool. Then also we actually added some helping tools to the database to track if everything which needs to be done to enter a promotion in our ERP system. For example, if there is a promotion with a discount, that means that also the discount needs to be applied in our ERP system, which is Oracle. We actually can put a flag next to the promotion if the customer service person responsible for that market has done his job, and so we can track if everything is in sync. So there are little things which can be added to the Arqiva tool, which helps you to get a whole overview on the business. So as we were previously already having an S&OP process which was mainly focused on getting the reports there and getting a view on the data, now our S&OP process is much more focused on the analysis of the data and really the discussion on gap closing and opportunities rather than preparing the data, because the reports are always available in Arqiva, so one click and you can see the actual status of the business, and that's actually for every department. Of course, also by using the tool, you come up with new ideas on how even improving the tool to make better business decisions. So that's something we have now used the tool for one full crop year, because we are working in crop year, and will now enter our second crop year, and we have decided to already change some of the things to get even a better look at the data. For example, we have now just, I think 2 weeks ago, introduced an impactor line, and that's actually to ensure that we keep our baseline visible in the tool. What we did before with the promotions is that actually the sales manager, when he entered a promotion and a promotional volume, he lowered the baseline volume, because actually during a certain period the full volume is sold as promotional volume and we don't have normal standard sales in that period. So he had to pull the baseline volume to 0 to see the impact, the correct impact of a promotion. That actually we have changed, and we now automatically so the system automatically pulls the baseline to 0, but the initial baseline stays visible. So if we want then on the long time run compare how much volume was sold in promotion, we still can compare it with the initial baseline. Also, when a promotion is moved in time, it goes from September to November because of a certain reason, the system falls automatically back to the baseline for the September period where the promotion was initially. So it makes it much easier for a sales manager, and also less risk of forgetting to adapt the baseline volume when entering a promotion. Then secondly, it will also, or the reports we have now built will also help us to assess promotional efficiency. We have, for example, a report on profitability, so we easily can see on which SKUs it's recommended to do a certain promotion, on which it's better not to, because, for example, the margin of that SKU is rather low, so we shouldn't promote it too often. Also, we have a volume report in place, so we can easily compare what's the impact of a promotion and what type of promotion has a good volume impact and what a less volume impact. So these are all discussions we are now putting in place to really assess what kind of promotions we should do in which region and on which type of products. Next to that, we also using now the reporting packs towards the US. So the monthly reports we are providing to the US are now pulled out of Archiva, and we are actually even investigating if there can be a further rollout to the US, as they clearly see the advantage of this tool. They have similar problems than we have, but of course on a much larger scale, as they have more volume and more SKUs. But we have actually been a bit a guinea pig for our company, and I think we can now show what advantages Archiva brings to our business.
Okay, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it. We tried to cover that topic, which is quite a huge topic, in 50 minutes. We reached 52 minutes, which is almost perfect. So it means that you still have 7 minutes or 8 minutes to ask for some questions. And if you want more detailed question or more detailed explanation or more detailed demo, you can also contact us directly, or you can go to the Solventure website. So now I will let you 1 minute to input your questions. So you have as you can see in the screen here, you have a question box. So just type something there and it will pop up. So I will let you 30 seconds. Let's see. So maybe I will try to answer already some of them. All right, so the first question we have is, I think it's more from your side, Heidi, is what are the required resources that you needed to have in your company to be able to implement the project? Did you have like I guess they ask if we had somebody like dedicated to the implementation, to the project?
So actually we worked with the teams we had in place, but we focused one of our planners half time to the project. So he was actually the key user and the main contact with the Arqiva people in the beginning of the project and in the setup of the project. So I think it was, half of his time was dedicated to the project. Once the database was installed, we of course had training sessions with the whole company and with all the people involved. So of course they needed to invest some time in it. On the other hand, they immediately saw already the result quite quickly of spending less time in reporting, and they could actually do it in without really additional resources from their side in their normal workday.
Yeah. And I think that was also very important to have the buy-in from the salespeople.
Yeah.
Because if you don't involve salespeople from the beginning, then after you just push a tool to them, and it's more complex to have their buy-in. And those are the people using actively the tool to input sales data. So if you go for such a project, I will recommend you really to involve all the people from the beginning. And of course, one of the major I think the key of the success is that we could involve all the people, and we gave the together, not just me, not just Heidi, really the combination of Solventure and Wonderful Brands. We gave them the sufficient training and the sufficient support to work in the tool, right? And maybe a last question. So for the other question, just don't hesitate to send me an email. The last question is, when do you decide if a promotion is confirmed or not confirmed?
Actually, there is an approval workflow to the promotion. So when a sales manager puts in a promotion, it will go through workflow, and our sales director has first to approve the promotion, and then secondly, it's at that stage it's still in unconfirmed status. The confirmed status is only there when the customer accepts the promotion. So we will also always propose a promotion to a certain retailer. He needs to see if the period matches his promotional schedule and if the tactic is linking to the strategy. Once he confirms, then also the promotion is confirmed by the sales manager in the tool. So as such, we know which promotions we can expect, and we also know once they are for sure will take place. So that's something we do in the process, is really look like for the short term, all the promotion needs to be confirmed, or we will not be able to guarantee the supply. For the long term, we can make an analysis what percentage we think will go through and what percentage might drop off or will be moved in time. So that's a bit difference between confirmed and unconfirmed promotion.
And how long upfront do they have to provide the data, basically?
Well, we have a fixed period of six weeks. But it's a bit depending on the retailer how soon they confirm a promotion or not, and then it's also a bit dependent on the sales manager if he can prove it or not.
All right. So I want to thank you all for attending that webinar. I hope you learned some stuff, and I just repeat one more time that if you need some explanation, some more details, we can even show you the reporting that we built, the financial reporting linked to promotion that we built. So thank you very much for joining, and I hope to see you in the next webinar. Thank you.